y'all, if you are looking for a way to start your garden on a budget, this is the video for you. And also, you do not need any fancy equipment or anything like that. You can do this all really simply and on a budget. So the first thing is you need pots. I like to just reuse my pots that I get from plants, and I've had them for many years. That is one option. If you don't have that, you can use solo cups. I've even used old cans before. Basically anything you can use. If you've seen my shed video, you see that I do not have an issue with pots. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. I have too many pots. I'm a pot hoarder. So that is one thing you can do. So there are lots of different options. It's super cheap. You don't need anything fancy. And another way to do this too is you can do the winter sowing method, to where you use like the milk jugs and cut them open and put soil in them. There are lots of different ways to garden on a budget, and you just have to work and see what works for you and find the thing that works for you. I've been gardening for over 10 years, and this is my favorite way to do it. After that, you're going to need to get some type of soil. Now, a few years back, I tried to use the Jiffy soil that they sell with all like the soil blocks and stuff at Walmart, and I had the absolute worst germination I have ever had. So I do not recommend that. I just usually use compost of some sort. I had some soil delivered several years back, and I just used the last of it this year. But if you don't have that, you can always just go to the store and get some type of compost mix. You just want to look and make sure that the soil is nice and dark and black. Hopefully you can see that, but that's what you're looking for. That has worked great for me. I've even used compost that wasn't completely unfinished with some like wood in it and stuff, and it did just fine. So that is another big thing, is to use good soil as best as you can get. But like I said, I would not suggest the Jiffy mix. You don't get very much, and I had the worst luck with that, so I don't suggest that. And after that, you need to select your seeds. Now, this is totally dependent on what you want to grow, what you're looking for in your plants. And for us with peppers, that's what we're going to be planting today. We really like to use sweet peppers, and we have done so many trials and used and tried so many different varieties, and we have came to the conclusion that there are like 3 varieties that we absolutely love. And we don't do many hot peppers around here. We had an incident with our children with the hot peppers, so I'm like, no more. We don't do hot peppers, so we just do sweet peppers. And our favorites are the ones that are nice and thick-walled. We love that so much. So if we only had one pepper to grow, our most favorite pepper would be the gypsy pepper. This is the best pepper ever. It is the most productive pepper we have ever had. It is so sweet. It is so thick. It even holds up in like drought conditions. It does great. And I forgot to mention that too. We're in the South, so we really like peppers around here. We can like almost eat them like apples. So we love them so much. And this is, I will forever grow this in my garden. And my favorite place to get this is Haas Tools. And if you're on a budget, I highly suggest shopping like clearance sections and like the Walmart and stuff whenever they put them on sale, and Dollar General's another good place to go to get your seeds. But what I do is I buy these at the end of the year. Usually it's like August or September. They have them half price, so I go ahead and get some then. That's whenever I buy these. Now these are a hybrid variety, so they're not ones that you're supposed to save seeds from, but I'm going to do a little experiment this year and we'll see how that works. So I'm doing this on a budget and using basically what I have on hand. That's another good thing to do if you're on a budget. Just try and use what you have. So this is our number 1 variety that we are most definitely going to grow. Next up is another one. This is just one that I was trying. It did okay. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but we're going to also grow this one. After that, another favorite. This is amazing. If you like those big green bell peppers that you stuff for like stuffed peppers, these are the best. This is King Arthur Bell. These are always the biggest pepper plants that I have, and they produced so abundantly. They are amazing. We get hundreds of pounds of peppers every year, and I just grow all of our peppers in a 4 by 16 foot bed. I just grow them all in that one bed, and that is enough of peppers for us for the year, for our family of 4, and they are great. It's amazing. They're one of the things that we no longer have to buy from the store, so that's really fun whenever you're able to do that. Let's see. After that, I have some more gypsy peppers just in case if I need them. And my experiment this year, since I didn't really have it in the budget to go try anything new, is I'm going to take some of these seeds that I had saved years ago. We are going to try and grow these and see how they do. Now, I know these are hybrid varieties, so this may be a complete flop, but that's kind of fun in the garden too, to experiment. And I like to also call it an experiment. That way, if it fails, you don't feel so bad about it. So it just kind of makes it a little bit easier. So we're gonna do that with these gypsy peppers. And another thing is I have found that pepper seeds only last for about 2 years. So these really need to be used up anyways. I did a massive experiment trying to get through a bunch of my seeds several years ago, and I learned that they really only last a few years. So pepper seeds you can't hold on to. Tomato seeds, on the other hand, I had some that were 10 years old and they still germinated amazing. I ended up with thousands of seeds and little plants. So my friend that has a nursery was very happy about that. But yeah, they did not do so good with the peppers. And our third favorite pepper is the Yum Yum pepper. And I've been on a pretty tight budget here the past few years, and I have not been able to get these, and I really miss them. So I had saved some seeds, and I'm going to try this too. This is also a hybrid variety. So this may be a complete flop. I know one year I think I did try this and they were really small, but I'm just going to give it a try. You know, experiments, you just keep trying and don't just go do it once and say this is the way it's going to be. We're going to try it again and give it another shot and make sure that we'll end up with the exact same result. So this is our number 3 variety for peppers, and I think we're going to go ahead and get started, and we'll go ahead and plant, and I can talk more about peppers. But another thing that you need to do whenever you are planting is you need to label. This is a big thing, and I struggled with this for quite a few years. So the thing that I have found that works the best, that will last all season long, that you don't have an issue with like them rubbing off. I always had an issue with like permanent marker. It would always rub off. So what I found works the best is to use blinds, and I just cut them up. You can use them bigger like this or smaller like this, but you don't use a permanent marker, you use a pencil, and this will last years and years. I have found some tags in my garden that have been out in the weather for multiple years, and they are still completely to where you can read them. They are super nice. So it is a really cheap way to do it, and if you have pets that like to get into your blinds, that is a good thing. You can just save them, you don't feel like you're wasting them, and you can use them for plant tags. So I'm going to reset you up here, and we will talk more about peppers as we plant them. Okay, now it's time to sow the seeds, and I forgot to mention that you can use all kinds of different containers. I find that these from the Dollar Tree work good. I actually got these whenever they were still $1 and not $1.25, but that's what I have found works better. They last better than like the black trays that you get for pots. So that's what I have found that works so good, and I also like these pots from the store. If you find these, I suggest saving them because they fit so much better in the trays and stuff versus the solo cups. So what we're going to do first is we are going to do, I think, our gypsy peppers. So we're going to write our tags. So I'm going to show here. This is what they look like that. It works great. You can make them as big or as small as you want. Generally, this is plenty big enough. I think what I'm going to do a whole tray of gypsy peppers. So I'm just going to write that once. So we'll go ahead and fill this in here. Now, with pepper seeds, you do need to cover them just a little bit, not much, but they do a lot better if you cover them. So what I'm gonna do, since my seeds are a little bit older, these are from 2023, I'm gonna go ahead and plant 2 seeds, and I just do just a little hole and then cover them up ever so slightly, just like that. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and hopefully I will not regret planting 2 of these. I may end up having to kill some of them, I don't know. And that is really hard for me. Me and my friend were talking about this, and we were laughing, saying how hard it is to kill the plants. So my husband was like, I will just do it for you. So we'll go ahead and plant 2, just that way we make sure we have enough, since this is one of the things that we grow enough of, that we want to be sure that we have plenty of plants so we can meet that goal and grow enough for our family. So we'll go ahead and just plant all of these. So I think I need to do, okay, so I guess I should just go back here. So in my 4x16 foot bed, I grow peppers and sweet potatoes. I have found that those make great companions. So I'm going to just keep doing that. And in that bed, I need 36 peppers. So I'm going to go ahead and sow quite a few of gypsies, because like I said, these are our absolute favorite, and we'll just keep doing that. And they are great. Like, I have heard so many people sing the praises of gypsy peppers once they have started them, and it is amazing. And if you have struggled with getting your pepper seeds to germinate, I did for the longest time. The first several years I was gardening, I struggled with that. I'm going to show you a trick that has like been a complete game changer for me, and then whenever I plant them as well, I will show you something else that has also been a game changer and help them to produce super well. So we're going to go ahead and finish doing this, but gypsy peppers are the absolute best in my opinion. They do not get any better than that. They are super prolific. If you watch any of our garden videos, you can see how nice they get. We even went through a time to where we had drought, and I had a lot going on, and I wasn't able to take care of them like I should, and they just kept on producing, and they are just like the plant that keeps on giving. They are amazing. So I need to write another tag here for these gypsy peppers. So we'll write that there, and I'll come back through and put tags on all of these. I just won't do that on camera here, but I highly suggest labeling everything, because that is, you'll have mystery peppers if you don't do that. So I think after that, we're going to go ahead and do some King Arthur bells. Now these are the ones that are the big green, like stuffing peppers. They are so good. I know a lot of people like the what is it, the California Wonders, and I just have not had the best luck with those. I really don't get them to, for one, germinate very well, and for another, the production is not very good. Oh, and I completely forgot another thing. Whenever I do my garden planting with my plants, I use my garden planting calendar, and I make sure it is a good day for peppers. So like, for example, I want it to be an above ground day, and I also want it to be a very fertile day. So that is another thing. That's the way it is today. I usually start them in the middle of February. I had an issue a few years ago to where I had bunnies come through and eat several of my plants. So since then, I have started them a little bit early. I usually start them in the middle of February, but I am already behind this year. How does that happen? I'm already so behind, but at least I'm getting it done on the correct day, and it's still February, so it's maybe the very end, but it's still February. I'm a big procrastinator, I guess. So we'll go ahead and remember that all of those are the King Arthur bell peppers. I'm just going to go ahead and write a note here so I know that that whole row is King Arthur too, and we'll just do it that way. And I think, let's see, so we'll do those King Arthurs. I think next up I want to give these Yum Yums a try. I think I'm going to do, let's see, I'm trying to think. I think I want to do 2 rows of those as well. I don't know, maybe we'll do 1.5. I don't know, I'm having to think on this. I'm going to go ahead and use several seeds, because I don't know how well that's going to work with this experiment with what we saved, and also they're kind of getting old. So I think we're going to go ahead and do 4 per container. I think that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna start there and just get them all seeded up. And these are the sweetest peppers. The Yum Yums are, they may not, some of them, some plants are have really big peppers, like kind of like I guess jalapenos maybe. They're kind of like that size. But these peppers taste like they have been watered with sugar water. They are so sweet. They are amazing. And they just have such good flavor too. I am always amazed at the flavor that they have. They are super, super good. So we love, these probably would be number 2 as far as flavor. The Gypsies and this. We just love the Gypsy so much because they produce so well. So we're just going to keep seeding these here, and we're going to try this experiment. I know I've tried it once and the peppers were a lot smaller, but I don't know. I want to try and do something different. It kind of makes gardening more fun to experiment. So we're going to go ahead and go with this, and I need to get these labeled before I forget that that's what I planted here. So we're going to write Yum Yum. And I'll know that they're my saved seeds here. So we'll write Yum Yum. And you can buy the seeds online for these too. I actually had bought these plants at the farm store. So that's where I initially got the plants from. I was hoping last year they would have them, but they did not. So we'll go ahead, and I think what we'll do next is the Gypsy peppers. I think that's what we'll do. We're gonna do a row of those. I think we may do a row of the Gypsy peppers, and then we'll do a row of the Haussinator, since that's what I've got here. And I may pick up a plant or two of something new if I find it at the farm store. Usually they're only like $1 or so, and then that also to help recoup, you can just save all the containers. Like I said, I am a pot hoarder whenever it comes to the garden. So we'll go ahead and get all that done. But I mean, they really, if you go at least our farm store, they usually have sales to where you can get them for about $1. Now it is so much cheaper to just go ahead and oops, I was only supposed to do 3 of those. To go ahead and start yours from seed. It is way cheaper to do that, and I don't know, to me it's a lot more rewarding to do that as well, and you're a lot more attached to them, I think, so you want to take better care of them also. So we'll go ahead on this one. We're going to write Gypsy, and we're going to write saved seeds. And what I've done before too is whenever I was just starting out, I would write the date that I started them. This was before I was using my garden calendar and stuff. I would write the date on it just to kind of keep track. So there's lots of different ways that you can do this to tweak it to make it exactly the way you want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just put 2 seeds of these Haussinator bells. These were okay. I'm just more using them up because I have them. So we'll just go ahead and get that all sorted and get them under the soil. They do a lot better if you do that and put them under the soil a little bit. And let's label so we don't forget. So Haussinator. I don't have enough space. So Haussinator, we'll write that down. And then I'm going to take you over, actually, before we do that, another trick with the peppers I have found, instead of just watering on the top, I've found the best thing to do is bottom water. So I just fill it up, and also if you have your soil sitting in like the shed over the winter, your soil may get like what's called hydrophobic, where it doesn't want to absorb the water. And I highly suggest prepping your soil and like pouring water on it before you start, because that can be kind of tricky to get it to where it will absorb the water. So that's what I'm going to do, and I just fill up the water till it's like maybe that, I don't know if you can see, like that high above the container. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that with the rest of these, and then I will show you how I do this the rest of the way using no fancy equipment. Okay, so what I use to start all of my plants is this cheap little greenhouse that I got probably 10 years ago. We got it for I think $25, and that has worked great for us. You can use any type of shelving system that you have, and I don't use any artificial lights. What I do is I just put my greenhouse in front of a south-facing window, and that has worked great. I have been doing this for many years, and this has been working amazing. Now, whenever I did first start, especially with pepper seeds, I struggled with the germination. So what I figured out that I needed to do is they needed heat. So what I started doing is I started using some of these old heat packs. I would get them at auctions and things like that, and that has helped tremendously. That was like one of the keys that got me to where I could germinate them. And even though some of them I don't have enough to go all the way across, what I do, since I bottom water, the water will get warm and that kind of distributes throughout the whole container. So that's what I do. This is how I start all of my plants, and it is super simple. You do not have to have anything fancy or anything like that. You can garden on a budget and produce a lot of food really cheap. So thank y'all all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And also, if you subscribe, I'll take y'all with us through all of our garden this year. Hopefully you can kind of see the garden a little bit through there, but I will show y'all all the different things that I do in the garden, and these are things that I've learned over 10 years. So thank y'all so much for watching. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.